alive? Since I've been alive? It's been a while since I've been alive. It's probably been a little less time since I've done alive. Sorry about that. First off, thanks to you guys for watching my conversation with Ryan when he was here in Osaka. Um, I was pretty shocked at how many views that thing got, but it seems like you guys really appreciate Ryan and just hearing his thoughts on things and just kind of sharing a nice discussion. So thank you guys for that. It is June 24th. It is a Sunday afternoon, and I'm pretty exhausted. Um, I've been dealing with sort of a hand injury the past couple of days. Um, and then I've also been recovering from this kind of lingering like sickness. But anyway, moving on. Let's just do what we need to do. Yeah, so it's the end of June, just about. And then July, which means that it's going to be time for more tattoos. And I will be your tattoo artist. It seems that SJ will be busy lounging around, sipping on, Long Island iced teas and just being lazy. What's up with that? No, he's really busy. So due to that, I will do my best to keep you guys updated in July with Bandmade and everything that's going on. They'll be starting up again July 3rd, which is, oh, that's next week. That's this coming Sunday. So be ready for that. All right. The main point of this, oh, I didn't even title this live, did I? I'll have to go back. So the main point of this live is just a little review of last night's show that I went to, but going back the week before or 6 days earlier, I actually went to a live as well, both in the same place. You'll hear me say it a lot because this is a really popular venue. I know, right, Richard? Lazy bum. But this place is called Bigtwin Diner Shovel. This is where I did my interview with Hades. And every time I've seen them, so I saw Hades back in March. I saw them again in May. I saw Sala last week there. And last night I saw Yuri, the bassist, who was supporting a band called Shoujo S, which in reality really is one girl. She's from Okinawa. She's really got this artistic, eclectic rock dance. Um, yeah, electronic. She infuses a lot, which is really interesting, and she's a great performer. So I would definitely recommend you guys check her out, see if you're into her or not. But let's start really quickly, um, just with Sala's performance. And I was really lucky that last week, Sala agreed to be interviewed once again, and that will be up on our channel. I'll probably throw out a little preview. We had a lot of entertaining moments throughout, but it was her, and there were four other acts. Don't want to go too much into them, but I had the opportunity to actually shoot photos of her. If you haven't seen them, they are available on Twitter at my personal Twitter, which is am I doing this right or do I go this way? PS1 Lim, Lim as in Mary. I do that on the phone. Um, at Twitter. So you can check out some of the photos I took of her there. And she's just really such a strong and amazing performer. Um, there are just certain people. This is the conclusion I came to even last night as I was thinking. There are people who want your attention, who crave your attention, and then there are people who just take it. They just grab your attention without even asking. It's just done. And I think Sala is one of those front women that can just do that. She's really fully embodied into the music, the moment, and just loves just entertaining people. So I had the privilege of having her because I was in front. I had the privilege of having her just like put her hand on my shoulder and lean over into the crowd. And I was like, "You go, Sala." I did wash my shoulder after that. But it's interesting because her solo band is very different from Hades because it's three guys and they're all older. I would say, gosh, anywhere from their 40s to their 50s, somewhere in that range. And I asked her in our interview, so do you see them as like older brothers? And she was like, ah, not really. She was like, more like beasts. But she was joking, of course. But they're all solid musicians. I'm pretty sure they all do session work because it sounds like they really have everything down. Um, the sound is definitely classic, old school rock, 70s, 80s, and they do, man, the sound, it's familiar, but it is a bit unique because there's an infusion of different things together. So I had a really great time. I couldn't totally throw myself in because I had the camera and I was shooting photos. But there were moments where I said, okay, I need to stop and just get into it. What's up, Silent? How's it going? How are you today? So that was a great time. Yeah, and then last night, let's do a little bit more on this. So this was the name of the show. Brujeria. What am I saying? Masquerade. I have no idea what Brujeria is, but I know what Masquerade is. So there were five bands. Five bands. Yeah, so Sala, I just did. You might want to check it out at the top later on. And now we're going into last night's show. So these were the five bands that performed. Um, yeah, it was fun. It was really fun. Um, and I was happy because I got to get Cheki with Yuri, and I told her that on a lot of comments, not just on the YouTube, which she has read. So she did actually go to the interview that we did, and she was reading comments, so she knows what you said. So be careful what you say about her. But I did tell her that a lot of people thought she was really cute and kind of in her own space, and she's kind of laughed about that. She's like, I was just nervous. I was just nervous, but that was really cool. Um, all right, so let's break it down real quickly. I'm gonna go quickly through some of the bands, and then we'll go from there. So the first band, okay, so the venue itself is about 100. I want to say 100. It could be 150 if you're packed in tight, but it's never been packed in tight. Even last night, there were maybe at one point 50 people tops. 50 people tops. Um, and it might be a little bit bigger than I sort of have an office and a room next to each other, my bedroom. So it doesn't get packed. I've never seen it that way, even with some of like the bigger bands. Hey Tavo, how are you? But yeah, it's really small venue. And if you guys ever come to Osaka, look for those shows. Look up Bigtwin Diner Shovel. It's a long name. It is confusing. But there are opportunities to see a lot of smaller bands and unknown bands, which I always have the opportunity for when I go. I've probably easily seen now since beginning of the year 20, 25. It could be even 30 new acts. Just because I go to these shows where it's like five bands playing, they do like 30-minute sets. So the first band, Reverse Rainbow. They weren't bad. They weren't amazing. They did a decent job. There are times they seem a little bit over eager. Their sound is cute plus metalcore, I guess. They had a screamer, growler, rapper in there. They had, one girl with her multicolored like track jacket. So, but what I liked about them was that all the members, except for one who was like by the merch stand afterwards for the other performances, they were all in the crowd and all having a good time, running around, jumping up, and just headbanging like along with the other people. So that was really cool about them. So they seemed like really cool people, really decent people. The music wasn't totally quite for me. Performance didn't quite hit. Um, but you know, they're all working on it. We're always working on it, right? The next band was actually the band I came to see was Shoujo S. And Shoujo S is actually really one person. Her name is Satoki. And Satoki, she's from Okinawa. I think she's been around for a few years. I'll still have to do a little bit more research. I've heard a few of her songs, and it's I think I just mentioned it a little earlier, but she's this mix of like there is rock, there is sort of EDM slash dance electronic. Um, she's got some really strong hooks. She's a really great performer. She's got these like those like crystal light blue lenses, so when she looks at you, and her lashes, her hair is like platinum blonde. So when she looks at you, it's pretty striking. Um, but yeah, great performance. I do wish I didn't have my camera at that time, but I did agree. Well, I actually asked. I can't say I agreed. I asked if I could take photos to help promote her band and her as well. So it's really just her, but she has other people play. So she has a guitarist named Mana Mix. I don't know if you know about her. Their drummer is Vivi or Bibi, and she used to be the drummer for Ganglion, which is a band that I never knew about because by the time I got to Japan, I don't think they were playing anymore. But I noticed that Chester Payne actually commented on a video from like 7 years ago, and that was before my time here. But they have some good songs. They have some good songs. There's a song called "Never Ever Again," Ganglion. Check that out. I really like that song a lot. But she was playing drums, and of course you had Yuri, who was playing bass. And as you should know, probably know by now, she is the bassist for Hades. And I just really love the way she plays. I mean, she gets into it, she smiles, she's having an awesome time. She's throwing her hair back and just making waves. And um, like I told her, I think, at least this is for me. There are people who will always online say it's all about the music. It's just about the music. That's all that it is. If you're into anything else, then you're an idiot. And I don't agree. I think that music encompasses a hell of a lot more. Um, and when you really get into a band, it's not about them being the best musicians in the world. It's about their attitude. It's about their personality. It's about just um, their look, just who they are as people. You connect to them. You feel just something, like something connects you. So, and I don't see anything wrong with that. You know, if you grew up listening to the Ramones, they, by any stretch of the imagination, they were not amazing musicians, but they were an amazing band that, I mean, changed music in a lot of ways. Sex Pistols, they were not the most amazing musicians, but man, they changed things. Um, so, you know, again, you can disagree with me, and that's completely fine. I mean, one man's meat is another man's poison. And I'll just say that for me, someone like Yuri and for some other bands, it's really about what they give off. There's this energy, there's this attitude, there's a sense of who they are. And I think a big disconnect between some of the bands that maybe I have seen and that maybe that you guys have seen online is that I've seen them in person. And I'm not bragging about that, but having seen them in person and having been there like at the actual performance, not just some live stream, man, I mean, you see it, you experience it. There's a huge difference between being in front of an actual tidal wave and being taken over versus having like watching a video of tidal wave. It is a huge difference. So, I just gotta say, if you have questions about bands, see them live. You know, if you're like, oh, they're all right, then you never know. I mean, they may suck live. That happens. But when it comes to Japanese bands, man, it's they're hmm, I really can't think of a band that sucked live. uh, they're good. They work hard, and it's really interesting. As I was watching last night, I think there was growling in like every single performance, and I just thought, what is it? Do Japanese musicians take like growler classes and screaming classes and um, what is it? You know, they're so good. Um, yeah. So anyway, I had a great time with Shoujo S. Uh, and again, check out their stuff. Um, see what you think. And you know, if you listen, drop your comments below. To let me know your thoughts as well. It'd be great if you could help support them as well. Yuri does play bass for them once in a while. And as I said, it's really Satoki. She's pretty much Shoujo S. I think the S is Satoki. But then she does actually get Vivi for drums and Mana mix for guitar when she's playing live. So check that out when you can. The next band, who was it? Halo. And Halo really surprised me. I thought, okay, Halo, slightly generic name. Uh, but when, you know, the curtains opened, I saw like these four dudes in t-shirts and this really formidable looking blonde-haired pigtailed drummer. And I thought, okay, interesting. She was wearing like a black dress. I was like, let's listen, let's see what's going on. And man, they killed it. They really killed it. Um, they are much more into like the heavy stuff. If you're not into um, that heavy music, then you might not like them. But whether you call it metalcore, you know, screamo, emo's back in the day, so that's not really it. But it did remind me a little bit of that. They gave off very, very strong SoCal dudes like rocking out. They're just having a good time in their t-shirts. Whereas like other bands try to like dress up, be a little bit more fancy. They just killed it and they just went for it. And they really had the crowd. Um, Even the lead singer didn't strike me as somebody that was like, at least appearance wise, didn't strike me as someone that could really do that, but he did. Uh, well, it was fun. So I did try looking for other music, but you try looking up Halo on Google or uh, on YouTube, and you know, there's a lot of stuff. So I got to keep searching to see what their recorded stuff sounds like. But again, if you like heavy stuff, if you're into the metal, um, if you're into the screaming, check them out. A good time. Next was Eita, and she's a guitarist. Um, and Randall Miyashiro, some of you might know him. Yo, SJ, what's up? Randall Miyashiro, he's kind of pretty well known in online SNS circles for having been like a huge, massive fan of these Japanese bands, of a number of Japanese bands. I mean, his knowledge and his interaction and experience with these bands is encyclopedic. So um, you can always look him up and ask him questions. He probably has an answer for you with something. So he's been helping me out getting more familiar and aware of like the history of these bands and who's connected to who played for who, and then who before that, and who before that, and it's just, my God, it's this huge, crazy, twisted, like DNA type of thing going on in this musical family tree in Japan. But yeah, it's where was where was oh, so Eita. He had mentioned that he had finally bought like her latest CD, and she's a guitarist, singer, plays electric, does her solos, some sweet stuff, really poppy melodies, but in that there's some heavy riffs and heavy moments, and it was interesting because she seems really, how do I say, sweet. She's very much like a lady, it seems like, but the difference between what I saw and what I was hearing at times when she was growling was just whoa, and I thought, man, that's interesting. It was such a contrast for me. I couldn't like make sense of it. But yeah, it was her and it was two other guys, one on bass, one on drums, three piece. They're good. They're good. It wasn't totally my thing because I think for me, mm, because again, for me, a big part of it is the performance of the entirety of the band as a whole, and what I'm feeling from them, what I'm vibing from them. That's why, like back in the day, I loved Van Halen because they were just a party, and you could feel that, and you could see that, and you could experience that. Just listening to the music, watching their videos. I never got to watch a show when I was a kid, so but um, there are just certain bands again. You just feel something, like I did with Hades. So, but they were good. They were good. Now the last band, Magistina Saga, Magistina Saga. Um, they sort of go for a gothic look. You know, all in black. They were walking out with these little. I'm pretty sure they were electronic, but like little lanterns. Um, you know, and then the lead singer came in with a hood on, like we were about to go into the woods and a little child was about to be sacrificed. Not that there was any, but it was that kind of vibe. But yeah, they're good. I want to check them out more. I liked their songs. Um, there are a lot of Japanese bands that have a certain sound. Like there's a when I listen to a lot of Japanese bands, there's a certain chord progression they use. There's a certain melody that sounds very Japanese to me, and I can't tell you what exactly because I haven't actually played. Um, yeah, I haven't actually played uh, the melodies out to see the difference of why. But again, certain chords, certain melodies, and I'm like, okay, that's Japanese to me. So there is that quality with them, but there is certain elegance to the way that the lead singer sang the songs, um, and it's actually three females. The only guy is the guitarist, so it's guitar, drums, bass, and the lead singer who doesn't play anything. But they're not bad. I really enjoyed their live. Yeah, I really enjoyed their live. And I was surprised at how much I liked them. So for them too, you guys can check them out, Magistina Saga. The guitarist was just huge, smiling. He did the whole like shoe shine. It was reminding me of like the Black Parade, if you guys remember My Chemical Romance, whether you listen to them or not. But yeah, he was just having such a good time, and I could feel that, and I love that, and I think that's what I like is when you see someone just having a legitimately good time, and it doesn't feel forced. You guys know there are those bands who sort of force, like, look at me, I'm having a good time. Can you see I'm having a good time? This is a great time. And then there are those people that just they just exude it naturally because they really are. So um, that's something I really connect with performers. But yeah, that was a show. It was great. I was glad to go back. I was glad to talk to Yuri. Um, so she hooked me up with some of her birthday stuff, which was back May 21st. I'll just show you. So I got a keychain and a couple of buttons. So this is sort of her. I don't know exactly what you call these things. Pike and a crown and a phoenix type of thing, but this is sort of her like logo. Um, and then she threw in an extra for free from last year, little button. So that was really cool. And even before that, when I first saw them, I asked her for her bass pick, which is on sale. I didn't like ask her like, "Hey, can I just take that from you?" So, and then I did get a couple of wristbands. These are for Shoujo S. Nice pink and black. And then the drummer for Shoujo S, BB, who was the drummer for Ganglion. This is a really good song. I actually checked it out on YouTube. The video, the song, the performance. Man, the tone of this band is amazing. I mean, from the vocals to the bass, It's got such a punch. Um, the guitar, um, yeah, and the drums. I mean, I really love the engineering on that. It's a great song, so check it out. But yeah, other than that, another reminder, because I think at this point, like Hades isn't just a band to me. I think, they're a group of girls that I really appreciate as people. I want to support them and help them out. So I do ask that you guys do check out Sala's new album, Rock On. And as I said, I did an interview with her last week. I'll throw up a preview, hopefully later today, and you guys can check that out as well. But I'll give a couple couple of minutes for questions. So if you have any questions or things that you want to relate to me right now, I'm more than happy to. So, and as I've said that, before there are any questions, and again, type it in. But last night was another reminder. At the end of the show, you have like all the band members talking to like fans. It's a very symbiotic relationship. Fans will, give like food and like snacks, all this different stuff. So, um, it really is. I think both sides helping each other out. Uh, I think these bands really help a lot of these guys because it is primarily guys. It helps them to really survive. I think to get through. I think just maybe being just a salary man in Japan or whatever it is that they're doing. Um, and it's the same guys. I've been to, what is it, 6 shows in Osaka. Two for two for Saiseiga, and then four with Hades and affiliated. Um, and there's like 2 or 3 guys I see all the time, so they live for this stuff. Something, ah, that I don't know. I guess people will comment on that. Um, but yeah, so when you do go to a live performance, um, you pay the entrance fee, you'll pay the drink fee, but also be prepared to help support these bands. And I mean, you don't have to really. That's, I think, when it comes down to it, like nobody's gonna force you to. But this is, as I mentioned with Ryan in our interview, it is their livelihood. They throw on these performances, but it's what happens afterwards. Like, can they sell their merch? Can they sell their albums? Um, because this gets them through. And one of the other things that Ryan realized and sort of acknowledged is that you watch a music video, maybe it's kind of pretty high quality, it's a great song, you're like, oh, they must be really doing well. And that's not the case at all. A lot of these bands are struggling like week to week. Um, Not that they're bums or anything, but they could be living better. I think the life of a musician in Japan, it's still a grind. So that's something that I've been realizing more and more. One of the things that I want to help with, and I'm trying to really support these bands in, and I feel like I've entered mm, a different sort of inner circle, not in an exclusive way, um, but with Bandmate, it was just fun. It was like, oh, I'm doing this, but I always just felt like they're doing well. I never, not for a second. I mean, some people had concerns. Are they getting enough money? And I was just thinking, well, they have, their website membership, the goods that they're selling, the albums they're selling. They're fine. Like, I never for a second worried about them, especially when you see them all walking around with like iPhone 14s or whatever, and getting new guitars and basses. So that wasn't an issue. But you know, going sort of into more of the underground world of music in Japan, and it's not that easy. Um, these bands don't have the kind of success that maybe Baby Metal does. Um, and whoever else, Scandal. Uh, but yeah, it's, sorry, I'm getting a little bit too lost in my own thoughts. I'm gonna stop it there. Uh, but yeah, thank you guys for always listening and watching. I'm really thankful that our channel has been doing decently. Um, and I think from a perspective really, really well. So I appreciate all of you guys always just kind of tuning in and hanging out and sharing your thoughts. And I hope all of you guys are doing well too. As I said, July is coming up, which means that Bandmaid's uh, July leg of their tour in Japan, yeah, in Japan is coming up, and so they've got some shows lined up. I will be getting again all the tattoos that I can for that. I won't be attending any of the shows in person though, so that'll be a little bit different as it was back in April. And the other thing is that yeah, I will be going out to Anaheim. I think I mentioned this before, but I'll be going out to Anaheim in August. So if you're there, I'll see you there. But thank you guys so much. Um, the Japanese worldscape, the Japanese music scape is such a labyrinth. There's so much, and it's really just a drop uh, in the ocean of what you know maybe, or maybe you guys know a lot. I don't. So, all right, I'm rambling, I'm babbling, but yes, they are hard workers. They are amazing people. And let's do everything that we can to make sure that their music can continue by supporting them in the ways that we can. All right, guys, I'm gonna stop it here. Oh, let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, absolutely, Rad. You are correct. Um, because some of these amazing bands, when they're gone, then they're gone. Um, I don't have enough knowledge um, to say who's been gone and who's come back. Uh, but yeah, they do special stuff for us. They are doing quote unquote the Lord's work, and you know, I think they should be compensated well for that as much as we can. Um, but it's hard. It's hard. Even for me personally, I can't keep up with every single band, and even if I want to, I don't think I should, because I don't want to step out of my own means. I do have a dog to take care of, and myself once in a while. So, okay, guys, thank you so much. I hope your Saturday, Sunday, drop their YouTube channels. Sure, Tavo, in the comment section, can you mention who you want me to mention? Um, I'll do that after this post. It'll take a little bit of time to, what do you call that? Process. So I'll get to things as soon as I can, and I'll let you know so that, yeah, we can all share in some better music. Okay, got it. I'll do that. Yeah. Yes, I'll do that. Okay, thanks, guys. I'll talk to you later. And yeah, that sounds good. Let's spread the word. All right, this has been Peter with MNN. I am going to get to work on some other stuff and try to, I don't know, get a little bit of rest myself. I'm pretty tired. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. See you again. Bye.